Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. I'm Luke Gregory and here's what's coming up tonight. It is the pressure finally getting to us. Tonight a 2-0 loss to Huddersfield and a missed penalty from Elijah Adebayo dents our playoff hopes. And this is one of them podcasts where we're literally fresh from watching the game. So look, we're going to try and keep a cool head. We're just going to relax, calm down, discuss the game. And look, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter getting a bit upset about this result tonight, but come on, there's still hope right now, but it's bitterly disappointing when you come away from that. So tonight we'll be discussing that and just see how it goes. I've got Dave and Bataro opposite me. Bataro, you just sat there and I was like, I don't want to do this tonight.
I don't.
Oh, come on. There is reasons to be cheerful somewhere, isn't there? But maybe not for the result this evening, but, come on.
There's so many ways you can look at it and you can put positive spins on stuff at the moment, obviously, but, you just look at the penalty we've missed tonight, not even hit the target, and you just can't help but think, is that a moment we're going to look back on at the end of the season and just go, Elijah's missed a penalty away at Forest and he's missed one tonight? Are these the moments that are going to cost us our playoff place?
Probably, but you don't know because it's still in our own hands at the moment. Technically, and mathematically, it's still in our own hands. But he's missed two massive penalties. The Forest one, away. There's 3 points we've not picked up. And tonight, because I felt that if he'd have scored that pen, I thought we was on the front foot, and I thought we would go on and win. That's what I felt at the time.
And to be fair, I mean, I don't usually get downbeat about a lot of things, but this has fucked me tonight a little bit. It's kind of like stumped my sort of flow and what I wanted to say tonight. But look, like you say, it is mathematically still possible, and we're still in the running. Yeah, we're still in the running as well. Look, and let's not get.
Don't forget, everybody in that playoffs positions are playing each other at some point before the end of the season, so it's not done and dusted yet. It just feels like we've just blown away the good chances that we've had. That's how I feel about it. We've had a couple of opportunities, and in fact, we said this the other week. I hope the international break doesn't muck us up, but it has, isn't it? It literally took that momentum away from us. That's how I feel about it.
What is it for you, Batara, that's a disappointment at the moment? Why is it tonight? I know the missed penalty doesn't help anything, but what is it from watching it tonight that you've come in and just thought, I don't know, I feel quite down at the moment?
We just created fuck all, really, didn't we? We didn't work the goalkeeper one bit, I don't think, tonight. I think Corniceller wasn't even a chance, really, but it was a chance at half time. I think he's hit it from about 25 yards out or whatever. Straight to keep it. It wasn't really a chance, but what else have we done? Nothing. We didn't even deserve nothing from the game. That's what's really like bugging me a little bit. But, look, we've had a great season. I keep saying it all the time, I think. But when it's fresh, we're doing the podcast straight fresh from after watching the game.
Yeah.
It's normally, it's kind of hard because, you know what it's a bit like. It's depressing a little bit. But look, I'm not going to be depressing. I'll try and be a bit more upbeat. But right now, I need to sort of get my head straight because I can't think about it. I don't want to drink my beer. It tastes like shit.
Oh dear. This could be a long podcast.
This is an explicit podcast already today. But look,
4 minutes
This
in.
is the thing, right? Normally, the game's on a Saturday. We have the Sunday and then the whole of Monday to kind of relax, look back on the game and look at some positives and go, you know what, look, we're in a good position, blah, blah, blah. But this is literally what the game finished 10 minutes ago and we're in front of the microphone and the camera right now. So we're still getting 3-word reviews in as they come in. So I think it's just disappointing. But if I know at the moment people are disappointed and they maybe want to hear us go into the team a bit, but
no way, I'm never going to do that.
We're not going, but just kind of pick it apart and what went wrong and what are the reasons for it going wrong.
We'll do that. We'll obviously dissect, but we're still a good team. We're still a good side, and we can't have any complaints really about the whole season. I mean, we can have complaints maybe about tonight we were shit, but that's about it. And anyone who sort of starts slagging like the team off and whoever else now, they need to get a grip.
But Tara, I look at it like we've had some wasted opportunities recently, real big wasted opportunities,
Yeah.
Not winning at Peterborough.
It's frustration no more than anything, isn't it?
Millwall, not doing as well as we could have done. And that's what's frustrating. And tonight was one of those nights where you just knew the script was going to go that way. As soon as he missed the pen, you just knew that it was going to happen. And defending was poor. We were poor. It just wasn't inspiring, was it?
And look, I guess if we do try and take away some of that disappointment and it's done now, like that's that game done. We're still in a position where it's, like you said, Dave, in our own hands. Like, we can sit here as fans and go, oh, we've bottled it, or we can all get behind the team now for these massive 5 remaining cup finals. And you're probably looking at, we've probably got to win 3 of 5 now, at least 3 of 5.
Well, to be secure, yeah, I mean, you're probably right there. But
I mean, to be fair, it could be all over after the Easter weekend at this rate. If we don't pick up and get a couple of wins, or at least one win, you see, but it could be. However, the thing is, they've raised our hopes so high because we played so well all season and we got into a position we never dreamed of being in. And now we want to make sure that we're in that position, and that's the issue I have.
Would you say, as fans, though, it's got to that stage where you say they've raised our hopes, but like, are we in a way expecting to go to places like Huddersfield and get the win tonight, or are we expecting? Do you get what I'm saying? Or is it like, look, they've raised our hopes now, and it's kind of like we've done so well. Us as fans probably looking at this season going, if we don't finish in the playoffs, it's just disappointing because we know how well we have done up until it seems the last week.
Not even as well as we've done. I mean, we're still it's as well as we can play as well. At the same time, it's not like we look back on things and go, "Oh, we had a good run. We can play like this." We know we can play better than tonight, especially. But you know what doesn't really help is the injury thing we got at the moment going on. That doesn't help. It's always a disjointed team, in my opinion. The team looks good on paper, but when you're playing Fred at right wing back and you're playing James Bree at centre half, it's going to catch up with you after all. And realistically, I think it's taking its toll now. Lansbury goes off, and people like Snodgrass coming on. Realistically, those kind of players, he wouldn't be. Let's face it, he probably wouldn't come on in the 30 whatever minute it was. And I just feel like we have to. We're missing certain players right now. That's basically it. And we can't field a team week in, week out with what's going on with the injuries, as I keep saying. And it's getting harder. And the more the season goes on and you're playing more games, it does get like that. And it's getting to a point now where we can still be proud of what we've done, or what they've done, should I say, because obviously I'm not wearing the shirt. But realistically, it's still fucking irritating. Do you know what I mean? Because I know how good we are. Or they are.
Well, I sort of agree. I just feel that we should have done better this evening. After the event, Huddersfield, were they that good? I don't know. Did we make them look that good?
To be fair,
they definitely
they had more opportunities than us. They had more opportunities than us, and I thought we were really lethargic to start with. Really, really slow. We needed to pick up the pace. That's how I felt.
Well, I thought they obviously dropped back after they went 1-0 up, which we'll get into in a bit. But we did create that little moment to win the penalty, and I just think in a game like this, at this stage of the season, with that much pressure, it's got to us. The pressure's got to us. And I kind of feel like maybe in these last 2 games, or now 3 games, that you look back at this week, and what was it? Before the international break, we probably sat there and went, next 3, how many points we want?
Yeah.
And we probably both, all of us said 6. 6, maybe 7.
And I think
we've got 2.
Yeah, and I think it hurts more after Tuesday as well. I think just Tuesday against Peterborough, I mean, I'm not expecting to win games because certain teams at the foot of the table and whatever else, but I think Tuesday was the one game I looked at and I thought, we're really going to push on now, and we're going to make it, we're going to cement it, like early doors kind of thing. It's going to be tonight. And when we didn't do it, I thought, do you know what, it's still an opportunity to do it. We didn't do it tonight either, and it's like, it gets harder. The games run out, it gets harder. Look, like I said, we're still in it. We're not getting too downbeat. Well, I sound like it. I'm really not. We'll go again on Friday.
We've lost our momentum. We've just totally lost our momentum.
This is it.
Totally.
And I think, like I keep saying, I don't think the injuries help either.
No. But then again, let's look at the bigger picture of, and I know some fans don't like it when you put scenarios like this out there, but if you would have said at the start of the season with 5 games to go, you'll be in 5th position.
Yeah.
Literally, it's in your hands still to be in the top 6.
No, I like that. I like that scenario.
Exactly. You would have dreamed of that. You'd have been like 100%.
Yeah, mate.
All we've said all season is if we can still be in and around it. And I think, like you said, this has been an exciting season, and this is the Luton way, innit?
I think
this is a roller coaster. This is the way Luton Town do it. We go to Huddersfield, we miss a penalty. We go to Forest, we miss a penalty. But we're still in with a shot.
Yeah, we're still in with a shot. But you know what? We are. We've put ourselves in a position where we've got to win the harder games. You know, imagine having to go to Fulham and win. You know, to still be in it. We've got to beat Forest. We've got Cardiff.
The thing is, though, Dave, right?
You're going to say we can do it, aren't you?
Well, probably the thing is, this is the thing. I still believe that we could. Like I say it all the time. Say week in, week out. I sound like a broken fucking record. It's boring. But on our day, that's my bones crack. That's ridiculous. But on our day, we can beat anyone. And do you know what? We'll probably beat Fulham. We'll probably beat Forest on Friday. We'll probably lose to Cardiff on Monday, though. And probably go and win our last 2 games of the season or whatever. So don't shake your head. We'll probably win.
Your fingers. I think you don't know what's going to happen anymore.
It's ridiculous, but
anyone can. Anyone. I think the joy about this division, anyone can beat anyone. That's how I look at it.
We'll just enjoy it as we're in it. So.
You wouldn't have thought that Fulham would have slipped up at the weekend. You wouldn't have thought, that we wouldn't have got a better result at Peterborough. At the end of the day, tonight we got practically what we deserved.
Well, let's look at some 3-word reviews which are still coming in right this second now. Jay says 5 must wins. Craig says not good enough. Nathan says still in 5th. Justin, lack of precision. Dave says bye-bye playoffs, which LTFC Talk said, not sure if you've checked the table, we're actually still in the playoffs.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Richard said pressure set in. James, more bloody injuries. Lou says so many injuries. Ad says slowly fading away. Michael, can do better. Demon Eyes, not over yet.
They're all optimistic. Hatter in Japan said 6 a.m. in Japan.
Yeah,
I know. It's a lot early to get up, isn't it?
Jesus.
Imagine getting up and watching that time in the morning.
Dad of 4 says can't miss penalties. And I know we've touched on it, but...
You can't miss penalties. But you knew... Did you not feel that he just felt when you... Are we going to talk about that now?
Yeah, no. Well, let's just go through the game. We obviously haven't got a bit of a running order tonight because the game's so just finished and producer Jacob's having a little night off. So
snooze.
I guess we just go in. Let's just talk about the goals. Huddersfield's first goal. It all comes from a bit of momentum from them, and I think Lansbury spots that momentum and he rolls back on the pitch from his little neck injury.
Well, that was a stroke of genius, I thought, at the time. Slow them down, stop them from playing. You knew he was going off, and he did the right thing from rolling him because he stopped the play. But
in hindsight, you look back at that though, and you think,
I wish I hadn't have done it.
Potts has come on there. I know Snodgrass loses his man way too easily, but I also think Potts needs to come out a lot quicker than he did.
Move. He didn't move for the ball. Should have closed him down.
I was quite happy I was in the toilet at the time, to be fair. So.
Well, but if he was almost like, oh, okay, I might run for that ball. He didn't get anywhere near.
I just don't think Dan Potts is in that moment. That zone or what am I trying to say? Just that mindset. Yeah, he's not in that mindset of getting up to the speed and the tempo of the game. And I think if we have 10 men on the pitch and Lansbury just stays off it for that throw in, we probably don't concede that goal. And that's the thing.
Do you know what?
Dan Potts has come on. He's both feet are planted. He's not quick to react. Snodgrass isn't quick to react. And then the finish, I know the commentators on Sky were raving about this finish, but I don't know. I just look at it and think it's a poor goal to concede.
You made a good point about Potts coming on. Had Potts not come on, somebody at the match pace would have been in that position and he'd been right up that guy's.
Well, I think the only thing we would have had is a striker come back to help defend that. We don't lose that defensive.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But the finish itself was a schoolboy lob, wasn't it? Schoolboy.
Yeah, it was almost like non-league, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was. And as soon as he did it, you just saw how do we get that as a sucker punch? It was totally that.
It was just like a lift, wasn't it? It was almost like he just lifted it with his foot and just went over the keeper and went in. Shea thought it was going over.
Did he? Or did he think it was going over, or did he think, I'm never going to get that?
Well, to be fair, I mean, either way, because...
You can't blame the goalkeeper.
No,
can
Dave,
you?
Dave, can I just...
Yeah, you carry on.
Sorry, can I just say something, please?
Yeah,
Because I was finishing off when you said that, but I was never blaming the goalkeeper for that. I thought he maybe thought it was going over, and realistically thought, if he didn't think it was going over, he was never going to get it anyway, because it was right in the top corner. There's no way any goalkeeper would have saved that, really. Unless you, I don't know...
No,
7'3". But
sorry, the crime there was not shutting the player down.
No, of course it was.
That was the crime. That was the opportunity given to him, from poor defending of a set piece, really, isn't it? That's all it is. A little throw, two players, goal. Disappointing. But we hadn't offered much up till then, had we?
And obviously from a Huddersfield point of view as well, I say he's hit it, as he's hardly hit it. He's lofted it, hasn't he? I mean, the back post or whatever he's done.
Well, he knew what he was doing.
Well, yeah.
Of course he knew what he was doing.
He's trying to work the goalkeeper. Obviously, fair play to him. It's a good finish. He goes down to a good finish, but it's, it could have been prevented before that.
I know you said we didn't create much, but I do feel like tonight was that kind of game where we didn't have to go and be at our best. And it was never going to be a game where both teams were at their best and at each other. It was going to always be a cagey game. And I think... even the commentators, it had a bit of a nervy feel to it. No one really wanted to lose the game. But I do feel like when we did have moments, they're the kind of the moments I'd expect us to have going away to a team in fourth in the table. Like, it was never going to be a game where we're going to attack and we're going to create moment after moment, because...
That's perspective is, the perspective is there, isn't it? You have to remember... As much as are Huddersfield world beaters, I don't know. But they are third in the division now after tonight. But it was fourth. They were fourth when we started. And, there's some respect there somewhere. So it was very cagey. I felt that we just needed to step up our play. I think we needed to play faster. We needed to move quicker. And we weren't. We were very cagey. Very, very cagey.
Well, I kept saying to you before the game tonight, I kept saying to you, watch about that Sorba Thomas. Didn't contain him at all. He fucking run rings around us most of the night. Let's face it as well. He was another player. And realistically, you need to stop their main source of attack. And we didn't really do that either. I mean, I'm not saying we were like horrendous and whatever else. It was, I'd say it's pretty even until about the sort of 60th, 70th minute, wasn't it, really? And they kind of took over a little bit and just exploited our weaknesses. But if you're going to do something about it, you need to stop that Sorba Thomas, mate. 'Cause the guy's phenomenal. I've watched this guy on numerous occasions, and I've always said, I'm sure I put it out the back. I've always said how good he was, and we just couldn't stop him. And it wasn't just him; it was other players around him, and obviously the movement. But it was almost like there was gaps. Obviously they played the ball around well, right? I've given Huddersfield one thing: they do play the ball around well. And I said to you, they're confident about knocking the ball around. They're like, fine, whatever. But you need to sort of like, I don't know, you need to stop those gaps. There's a lot of gaps in midfield today. Midfield, the defence did it right, I thought. It was more the midfield. Getting beaten, the attacks in midfield like that, it's getting bypassed, I thought, quite a bit. I don't know if you agree or not, you might disagree, but I think there was a lot of things in there where, a lot of pressing was pointless pressing.
The way I look at it is, I didn't feel Huddersfield threatened as much until they got that goal. And I think that goal just comes down to a lapse of concentration from Potts and from Snodgrass. And I think they're both equally to blame. And I think if we just defend that better, then I still think that we push on and we stay in the game and it's 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. Maybe we bring on Musquay or something and we push forward and try and nick the goal. But it's like I said, just that lapse in concentration, it's cost us. And maybe giving in to pressure, because we do get the chance to equalise and Breeze fouled and I thought it was definite penalty.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's them big moments you get at this stage of the season where you need your big players. And we spoke about this last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago on the podcast, who we didn't want to get in the playoffs. And I remember saying, like, I feel Forest have so many big players, and you look at like that Brennan Johnson, and you look at all these teams in the playoffs, and they've all got like their one big player, and I kind of feel like Adebayo's that for us.
Yeah.
And he just didn't take it tonight. Just didn't take the opportunity to score. And I've seen a couple of tweets tonight about Adebayo, which are just mind-blowing about him not being good enough or something.
Well, that's not true, though, is it?
Well, then they chat shit. So
bloody hell, you can't knock that player.
To be fair, I mean, if Adebayo wasn't with us, where the fuck would we be right realistically this season? Like a lot of the players, but this
Probably
guy,
Huddersfield.
This guy's instrumental, mate, to what we do. To be fair, and if anyone's saying shit about Adebayo, just get your head tested.
He's very strong.
No, seriously, get your head tested.
He's a strong player, and he's been an absolute revelation for our club.
Saying he wasn't good. Sorry, Dave, go on.
I'm just going to say the disappointing thing is that, you know, as if you're going to be a penalty taker, you want the confidence that of a Colo when he stepped up to take that Watford penalty.
I was never that confident in Colo though.
No, I was. He knew what he was doing, or a Hilton, or someone that you know, or a Steve Howard. Yeah, all of them.
I think the last Luton player I was confident
Nichols
with penalty was Kevin Nichols. Whenever we had a penalty with Nichols, I was like, I feel like we're going to score this.
But you say Adebayo's record's not been too bad, to be fair. He's missed 2 penalties, I think, this season. Every single penalty he's hit, other than the 2 misses or whatever, he's fucking buried them. To be fair to him,
but you know when your person who's going to take the penalty is going to step up to it. You know that 9 times out of 10 he's going to score, and that's what you want, the confidence. We all stood there tonight and went, he's going to miss this. He looked a bit edgy.
My work colleague texted me, one of the analysts at Brentford, and he was like, penalty, what are you saying? Who's your taker? And I said, Adebayo. And I said, I think he's going to miss. And I don't know what, but I just wasn't confident. I just thought, it's such a high pressure moment. I just had visions of him doing exactly what he did.
Yeah, to be fair, you did say it to me, but I was always confident, which means nothing, but you did say that, Luke, and I'll give you that. But
it's not like I wanted it to happen. I just felt in that moment, it's such a big moment.
It was the way that our game was going tonight, though, because we hadn't created much. We get a clear-cut opportunity to score, and you just felt it wasn't going to happen. It just felt it wasn't going to happen, and I think that's the disappointing thing. Normally, you can be quite confident with penalties. Normally,
I think, Batara, you said the most disappointing thing is not even hit the target.
I fucking hate penalties that don't hit the target. Do you know what? It's one thing I don't care, right? If you miss a penalty, just hit the fucking target. If you hit the target and the keeper saves it, fine, whatever. Doesn't mean it's a great penalty. It might still be a shit penalty, but just hit the target. And if you don't hit the target, then just fuck off, seriously. But obviously, like I say, it's only
because then you've got the chance with a rebound or, you know.
Just hit the target, do you know what I mean? I don't understand. I mean, sometimes players try to be too precise, and yeah, it might pay off for some certain players, but unfortunately for Adebayo tonight, it hasn't paid off. I can't sit here and slate him because I love the bloke. I think he's amazing, and I think he's, like I said, he's instrumental to what we've done, what we do as a team going forward. But just hit the target, man. I just can't stand it when I don't hit the target.
But that's the confidence you have in your striker, and if I can use your workplace, Brentford. With an analogy, when Tony steps up to take a penalty, everybody thinks he's going to score. No one thinks he's going to miss. Tonight, Adebayo steps up and we sit there and go, he's going to miss it because the pressure was too much. He's a young person. He's been brilliant all season. You can't knock him for that, but it was a high pressure penalty. And it's, you know, he scores that, we move on. I think we've got the momentum then to go on and win the game. That's how I felt that. I felt at the time, if he scores, there's only going to be one winner, it'll be us.
Yeah, I probably agree with that.
Because we had all the momentum at that point. Huddersfield was sitting back. We started picking up our pace. We were playing some decent balls. We got quicker. We got the pen, scored the goal. We move on from that.
Does anyone else just sit there and just think, this only happens to Luton? Like, do you get me? Like, this always just... I know other clubs probably... have this, but I just, in my head, I'm always just thinking, this could only happen to us. Like this.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but then
it's
also
such a Luton thing to happen, isn't it? This would be the most Luton way to either bottle the playoffs or to sneak in the playoffs. So like you said, we could go now beat Forest 4-0 on Friday and everyone will be absolutely buzzing and we're going up. Or we could miss out on the playoffs and we look back and go, if Elijah scores one of them missed penalties, we get a playoff spot.
But isn't it, let's put another bit of perspective on this, isn't it great that we're talking about this rather than scrapping out of relegation? You know, come on. It's been a good season. It's just disappointing because we've raised our hopes so high.
I think it's just more disappointing, isn't it, when you're in these playoff runs, and it's maybe not that you're expecting it, but you just want that chance, don't you? You just want that shot in the playoffs where if we come out the playoffs and we lose the semis, you go, look,
fine with me.
What a season.
fine.
What a season. And also, 3 more games at the end of the season we can all go to and end up at Wembley. That'd be fantastic.
All friends, can I just say to you, Dave, as well? You say about obviously relegation. Well, I'm going to say it anyway, so fuck off. But, sorry, language, sorry.
He's been very explicit tonight.
What was I saying? It's about, you said about relegation battles and whatever else. Can I just say, in that Blackburn game, last game of the season, was one of the best moments I've ever witnessed
I get
ever experienced as a Luton fan.
And it would have been one of the worst moments had we not won it, right? So that's how it works. But aren't you much...
it was one of the best of moments.
Well, I agree because
weirdly enough.
Yeah, agreed, because I was at Manchester City when Radiante scored, and you go there for that experience. And it's just better not to be worried about going down.
100%. No, of course, because it's more pressure. It's added pressure, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And we've
had to lose.
I think it's because we're so passionate about the team, but they can do better, and I think that's a disappointment tonight, a big disappointment for me.
We know how good we are. That's the thing. We know how good Luton are.
We haven't even talked about their second goal yet.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we should, because again, it was bloody poor defending.
Well, they flashed up a stat on the screen, didn't they? Set piece goals this season, both of us on 16. It was clearly an area where we would have known that, they would have known that, but for them to have Sarr at the far post with no one around him, Shea, in my opinion, has got to keep it out. And I think I love James Shea, but I thought some of his kicking was a bit poor tonight.
But we know his distribution is not the best, though. He's a good goalkeeper, though. He's a very good goalkeeper, in fact. But we all know about his distribution. I don't think it really takes its toll on the squad, though, most of the time. But whether he saves it, I mean, I'll be honest, when it went in, I kind of just fucking shouted and looked at the ceiling and whatever else.
You did?
I didn't really look it after that. I just kind of give up. I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
I think the thing with the cross was all our players were drawn to the near post, and no one took advantage of marking the guy at the back. So he was a free head. He was 100% going to score. Game over. We had 7 minutes, didn't we? We had 7 minutes extra time. If he hadn't have scored that, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just really disappointing because and we've said this more than once tonight. That we could have done better than we can.
I just think the most disappointing thing, and I know we've touched on it plenty of times, is you're sat there at 1-0 with a penalty. You just kind of want to rewind to that moment, don't you? And there's like, if we would have just come away from that if you would have just taken the penalty out of it, and maybe we didn't create much, and then they go make it 2-0 on the break. Yeah, we're probably not as disappointed as we are now, but it's because of the penalty. I think it's just look at Bataro. I mean, if you're listening to this, go on YouTube, search Owen the Town, subscribe because we need 1,000 subscribers, and look at Bataro. He looks so sad.
I'm sad, mate. Lack of sleep. I don't sleep much anymore.
Here we go. Goodness me.
No, to be fair, it's not even that. It's just, look, do you know what? The thing that really upsets me more than anything, I'm going to make it about me for all of 10 seconds. I said to people today at work, I was going, we're going to win today. I've got a great feeling. Yeah. Watch out for this. Watch out for Adebayo. And they're probably watching going,
they're probably watching it going,
who's this dickhead? Yeah. Who is this fucking idiot? And most people probably think that, but that's fine. But come on, man.
Well, if we look at the bigger picture, 5 more big games to come. It's not going to be an easy run in for us, but look, this is the Luton Town way, innit? And if whatever happens between now and the end of the season, like you said, this is what we've asked for. We've just asked to be flirting with playoffs, and I think you could probably go back to one of the first. We might even do that. Let's go back and listen to another first episode of our podcast from this season, and we'll play it like next week.
Did I not?
But we probably said all we want to do is flirt with the playoffs this year. We're doing more than that. We've taken the playoffs out in a few days.
Listen, and just imagine.
We're maybe thinking about settling in there, but you never know.
But just imagine Friday putting in a mega performance against Forest and nicking a win. We did it against Bournemouth. Why can't we do it against Forest? We give Fulham a good run. Why can't we do that? So I'm going to be optimistic for a change and say, maybe the season gets better on Friday.
Mate, to be fair, I mean, all season we've been on a high. We've been so high. I mean, in fact, we've been higher than Cheech and Chong, and right now it's just like deflated a little bit. It's like you were losing that high a little bit. But look, we need to keep going and just keep going and going and going. And do you know what? If it goes down to the last game of the season and we make it, great. And if we don't make it, fuck me, it's going to hurt a little bit.
What a season.
But look,
but
like you said, what a season. And do you know what? We can not have asked for any more. And realistically, people say we're overachieving. We're probably not, because we've been better than a lot of teams in this league this season. But
you just hope
for our standards that what people look at,
right?
Then, I mean,
so let's not be doom and gloom, because we like you say, we still.
I've been positive.
No, I agree with that. But let's hope if we don't make the playoffs, that we build on our success this season.
Yeah,
we
keep giving it.
We make the
go,
and we're in the same position next season, challenging for that. That's
it. And as long as we've got a winning mentality as well.
Yeah, I think it's more important that we establish and make sure we are at least the Championship side going forward for a long time. That's more important. If we get to the Premier League, fantastic. If we don't, let's make sure we're never in trouble of getting relegated.
Just been having a little scroll through Twitter whilst you two have been having that chat, and it's a lovely little post here from Luton Town fans on Twitter, and it's just showing like the remaining games left for the current. Six teams? 6 teams? Yeah. I can count.
Does that include Millwall as well?
It's not including Millwall.
Well, you should include Millwall. They're not that far away.
You look at some of these fixtures that teams have got left, and even like Huddersfield, the next two, QPR and Middlesbrough, they've got Coventry away still to play. Forest have a very tough run, and they've still got to play Bournemouth, they've still got to play Swansea, Fulham, West Brom, and us. Sheffield United looks maybe a little bit easier. Bristol City away, QPR away, Fulham at home. No, last game of the season for them.
What's that easy though?
Yeah,
Middlesbrough next two, Bournemouth, Huddersfield. Then they got Swansea away, Blackburn, Peterborough away. They got Preston away, Birmingham away, and even Bournemouth at home. So I think every team left has still got massive games where they'll probably be looking.
Every team feels like they can do it.
Every team probably feels like they do, and every fan's probably sitting there thinking, our fixtures aren't kind to us here. I just kind of think that there's still more points to be dropped from others around us. And I know we've started off quite negative. It's not all doom and gloom yet. I know there's still points are going to be won. Points are going to be lost.
Who have we got?
Just who can...
Forest, Cardiff, Fulham. Come on. Listen, whatever happens, I'm going to enjoy the last games of the season. It's going to be great fun.
I feel like from our remaining 3 home games, we need 7 points at least.
9. We need.
I think we need 10 more points.
So who we've got next 3? We've got
Forest,
Cardiff,
Blackpool.
No, Forest. The home game. Sorry,
Forest, Blackpool,
and then
Reading.
Yeah.
We can have 9 from that.
I mean, Blackpool and Reading. I'm looking at 6 points there. Without doing disrespectful,
you have to have that. Yeah. And if you don't have that, then we don't deserve to be where we are.
I'll probably even say, to be fair, like I say, 7 points, 6, 7 points. Just don't lose to Forest as well, because if you lose to Forest, it puts in more shit as well.
Oh, come on, you're not wrong, but again, I remind you of our fantastic season. And
Dave, look, there's nothing about me. There's nothing about me saying, but I'm saying we want to make playoffs. I'm saying
we've got to beat Forest.
It puts more in the shit, and not in the shit like us going, oh fucking hell. 'Cause, I mean, we'd never. Dave, you know me. I'd never react like that.
No, but if we don't lose to Forest, that's the bonus.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
Follow that up on Monday by beating Cardiff.
And if we don't get playoffs, we miss out by 2 points. We've still had a good season. Just realistically,
I think the saddest thing is the last couple of games we haven't looked like winners. That for me is the problem.
I think it's the sequence and how you sort of like get to the playoffs, or you don't get to the playoffs as well. I mean, if you go like cruising into the playoffs like we have recently, and then maybe sort of like last sort of 6 games of the season, 7 games of the season, you only win like 1 or 2, if that, one game, and then lose say like 4 or 5.
It
looks shit.
It is the way you look at it.
If it's like a pattern, and you go, oh, we're winning the couple, then we lose the couple, then we're back in and out of it, then we go into it in the last game, or we go out of it, and it looks a bit different to wherever you're cruising into it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and the way you look at it is Nottingham Forest after 7 games had 1 point.
Yeah.
Now, if you put Forest's next lot of games first, what's the next 30 games? If they went on them 30 games and then lost 7 in a row or 6 in a row and drew 1, their fans would be going mad.
Yeah. This is it. It's mental, isn't it, really?
It is. It's like you said, if right now, say, we'd won the last 4 and...
Well, that's exactly that.
And we had that momentum of going, all right, we're going to get in the playoffs now. But it's kind of like we're there and it's the other way round. And it was a similar situation with Brentford in last season. And the fans around the club were thinking we were on a poor run. We went on this massive 25 unbeaten run, and then we went like 6 without a win, and automatics kind of lost. And I kind of feel like it's got a similar vibe to that. And it's now where we've got to, and like they did last season, they pulled together as a team, showed character, had a little change of formation, and it worked, and they got over the line to the playoffs. I think that's what we've got to do now, is that we've just got to go. It's at that stage of the season now, and I know some might disagree, but performances kind of go out the window. You just need to get results now.
Exactly that. And that's the point. Had we got a better result on Tuesday night against Peterborough, tonight would have been easier to handle. And I think that's the issue. There's one team we should have really put to bed, and we played terrible. And tonight, I think we could have done a lot better than we did. I don't think we were great.
Well, 2 more big ones to come before our next podcast. Unfortunately, I'm working on Friday, so I won't be making it. I'll have to watch the first half on Sky.
Oh dear!
But
we go for a beer, though, aren't we?
Well, I'm hoping so. Yeah, it's an early kickoff, and you might be working, Dave. So 2
more massive games. I don't know if this time next week we'll be sat here, depending on if we're back from Cardiff. Maybe if we decide to go, but. It's just exciting, it's nervous, it's scary, it's all kind of emotions. But let's hope this time next week we're sat with at least 4 extra points in the league table. Maybe we're sat in 4th and we're all happy and buzzing again. But
I hope so, yeah.
Hey, we might have to do a podcast extra if we're great.
I'm always hoping that I'll get to watch next Monday as well, because if I can't watch it, I'll be pretty upset we win.
How long did it take to get back from Cardiff?
Probably 5 hours the way you drive, but 3 every other normal person. So
well, then you can drive. You can drive then. You can drive.
Is he taking a piss at you or what?
Yeah, before we go, do come and watch us on YouTube, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you've not ever watched us and you're currently listening in your car on your way to work, or maybe you're listening in your car on your way from Huddersfield right now, watch us on YouTube and subscribe. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. That'd be beautiful. Patara, we have to touch on it before we go. Tuesday, you cycled all the way to Peterborough with Mark Crowther. How was that?
It was brilliant, to be fair.
Yeah, what time did you set off? Early?
9:30. It was 10. Is it not 9:45? Can I just say at this point, I was support driver, because there was no way I was cycling.
Yeah,
you did a great job, but Tarek, listen. I doubted whether you'd make it. If I'm honest, no, seriously, I thought you wouldn't make it. And Mark, he knows how well you did, and it was a great day. The whole day was fantastic.
Mark really did sing your praises as well. He said you did very well. You should be proud of yourself. And to be fair, Mark's a nice bloke, he would say that. But Mark smashed it, to be fair. Fair play to Mark. No, in all fairness, the credit all goes to Mark, because he's the one that does all these away games. Obviously, he cycled to Huddersfield tonight, and big respect for that. And obviously all the money. So people just to know that, support this guy. Obviously, I was only doing it to try and make a bit more money and whatever else. Obviously, people trying to get me sponsored and whatever else, and just to raise awareness and whatever else, and to get it obviously broadcast and whatever else. But no, look, it was a good day out. It didn't take us sort of from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock to get there. We did stop off for a few hours or whatever.
You had a few beer stops, didn't we?
Had a few beer stops, which made us very slow, to be fair. And a massive bit of food when I got to Huntingdon, I think. Yeah. Nice. But no, look, it was a good day out. It was a good trip. And
it's a shame about the football,
miles.
Wasn't it?
Well, it was a shame about the football, but can I just also say I've got some great video footage, and I'll try and put it together, and then I'll let Jacob put it out.
Yeah.
Well done though, Bataro, because it was well done. Yeah, you did a good job, man. You did a good job.
It's when I had Mark going, it's all right, mate. It's all right, go on. We've only got like another 12 miles to go. And I was sitting there going, fucking hell, I told you I'm knackered, Mark. That's why I took the carbohydrate drinking. I was like,
12 miles, I reckon Mark does that with his eyes closed, doesn't he?
Mate, to be fair, I'm pretty sure he said yesterday that he did like something ridiculous in the space of like half the time. But
doesn't that make you admire his achievement more every single away game? Luton supporters, if you haven't supported Mark yet, you really need to go do that.
Brilliant efforts. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're currently on your way home from Huddersfield, go watch us on YouTube when you get back, and fair play for going all that way on a Monday, because couldn't get the time off work. But anyway, let's hope this time next week at least 4 extra points, in a dream world 6. Let's just hope it's nothing less. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.